Hello, listener. I would like you to meet Emily, a dedicated teacher juggling lesson planning, grading, and student engagement. Despite her passion, the workload is overwhelming. On the other side here is Jake, a high school senior who struggles to balance assignments, extracurriculars, and college applications. Both are stretched thin in this high-intensity modern-day world, trying to do it all. But then, Emily discovers a tool that streamlines grading and suggests personalized student interventions to grow her students. Jake finds an online resource to help organize his schedule and refine his study materials. These tools do not replace their efforts, but they enhance them. AI isn't about doing the work for us. It's about empowering us to do our best. Let's dive into how AI is transforming education. Hello, and welcome to EduWave, where we explore the exciting world of educational technology. Our team consists of Sydney, Lara, and Jill. Together, we are diving into the latest trends, innovations, and challenges in ed tech. Today, we are talking about one of the biggest game changers in modern education: artificial intelligence. Technology is reshaping the way we learn and teach. Our goal with this podcast is to explore how ed tech, specifically AI, is revolutionizing education. We will discuss insights from teachers and students and produce thought-provoking discussions to help educators, students, and ed tech enthusiasts navigate this evolving landscape. So what's our agenda for the day? First, we're going to talk about how teachers are using AI, what are their wonders, what are their worries, and then how are students using AI? What are their wonders, what are their worries? We will reflect and discuss and come up with some next steps and conclude our day. So why are we telling this story? Because AI isn't just a futuristic concept. It's here, and it's making a real impact. Whether you're an educator looking for ways to enhance your teaching, a student curious about new learning tools, or an ed tech enthusiast eager to stay informed, this conversation is for you. Let's get started. This podcast is sponsored by Grammarly. Teachers and students, listen up. If you want to improve your writing and save time on edits, Grammarly is a game changer. Whether you're grading papers, writing essays, or sending emails, Grammarly helps catch mistakes, improve clarity, and even enhance your tone. It's like having a personal writing assistant right in your browser. Best of all, the free version is packed with great features, and Grammarly Premium takes it to the next level. So if you want to write smarter, not harder, try Grammarly today.
Today, we're diving into a hot topic: artificial intelligence in education. I'm Lara.
And I'm Jill. AI is making its way into classrooms, showing up in all kinds of ways, from adaptive learning platforms to automated grading tools. But here's the big question: how do teachers feel about this shift?
In 2024, Carnegie Learning put together a report called The State of AI in Education. Teachers, administrators, and some support staff were surveyed on their use and opinions of AI in education.
So, how many of them actually use AI in their jobs?
Turns out 56% of educators said that they use AI at least sometimes in their work. And administrators, they're using it even more than teachers.
Oh, that's interesting.
But it makes sense, considering that these educators reported that AI's biggest benefit is saving time on administrative tasks, stuff like organizing data. The report also found that educators see AI as a way to personalize learning, boost student engagement, and improve learning outcomes. There's a lot of potential there.
But not everyone's on board. A May 2024 survey from the Pew Research Center found that opinions on AI are all over the place. About a quarter of teachers believe AI does more harm than good. And then there's the 35% of teachers surveyed who said they just aren't sure how they feel about it. They don't believe they know enough about AI to make that call.
That makes me think that there's a real lack of training for teachers when it comes to AI.
That's exactly right. If nobody's teaching teachers about AI, how are they supposed to form an opinion?
The Carnegie Learning Report noted that a lack of training and support was a major concern for teachers.
But I'm guessing that's not the biggest concern.
No, the number one worry is cheating.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Over 80% of educators in the report said they were worried about students using AI to cheat.
And that leads us to the messy subject of plagiarism. Traditionally, plagiarism meant copying someone else's work without citation or credit. But every time new tech comes along, whether it's a calculator, word processors, or now AI, teachers have to really rethink how they teach and assess students.
Right. There's a great quote from James Hudson's 2024 article in the Journal of Intelligent Communication. He said, "By embracing change and prioritizing ethical, creative, and critical engagement with these technologies, we can ensure that they serve as powerful tools for advancing knowledge and fostering innovation in the digital age." End quote. That way, AI becomes an asset and not a threat.
Now that sounds good. But how do we actually do that?
Great question. A study by Yim and Regariff in the Journal of Future of Educational Research found that many teachers that have positive attitudes towards AI still aren't using it to its full potential. Why?
Let me guess. A lack of training.
Yep, and a lack of clear policies around AI. This lines up with the Carnegie Learning Report. Almost all administrators surveyed agreed that AI training is important, but only a quarter of schools and districts have provided it. And get this, 80% of administrators state that their school or district does not have an AI policy.
So, for the teachers listening, what's the next move here?
Teachers, don't wait for your school or district to catch up and figure it out. Seek out training opportunities, whether that be PDs, workshops, or online courses. Advocate for policies at your school and enact your own policies in the classroom if your school or district doesn't have it covered. And start small. Try integrating tools into your lessons in a way that engages and benefits students, not just for your convenience.
And don't forget to talk about AI with your students. Discuss those ethical and responsible use and how AI relates to plagiarism. AI literacy isn't just for teachers. It's something students need too.
Absolutely. And remember, no one expects you to be an AI expert overnight. It's all about experimenting, learning, and adapting. That wraps up this segment. Up next, we'll be discussing how students use AI. Stick around.
I think it's safe to say that, AI is becoming a significant part of the educational landscape.
What about the students? What do they think about all this?
Oh, it gets interesting. There was this Harvard study, and it turns out students are already using AI like crazy.
Really?
Yes, one of the things that really stood out to me was the statistics on this. 92% of university students in the UK are now using AI tools like ChatGPT.
Wow, 92%. That's pretty much everybody.
That's almost everyone.
How? So, what are they using it for?
For homework help, creative projects.
Is it just for making things easier, or is it like something deeper?
I think there's a bit of both.
Right.
Students are definitely using it for, practical tasks like getting explanations on difficult concepts, summarizing, those long, dense research papers.
Sure.
Even brainstorming ideas for essays. It's like having your own tutor and a research assistant all in one.
That's wild. You said earlier they use it for creative projects. Like what? Give me an example.
Well, one kid used AI to make digital art based on poems. Another composed music, like original music, and that was inspired by their culture.
Wow, that's amazing. I can see why they think AI is a must-have skill for the future.
Right? And a lot of them see it as a way to improve themselves, learn more. Not just about getting the answer, but really understanding stuff.
So students are embracing it in a positive way?
Yeah, mostly. The research shows that there's kind of this mixed bag of feelings.
Really? Because it sounds like students are using AI a lot. You said earlier that 92% of university students are using AI tools.
They definitely see the potential benefits, like personalized learning, getting feedback that's tailored towards them, just even making research more efficient.
Sure, yeah.
But also, they got their worries too,
Like what?
Well, plagiarism's a big one.
Makes sense if AI can write essays.
Exactly. And then there's this bias thing. Like, what if AI is trained on biased data?
Oh, right. It could make things unfair for some students.
Yeah, so we got to be really careful about how AI is developed and used. It can't just be about the cool factor.
Yeah, it's about ethics too, right.
Yeah, fairness, equality, all that. I mean, as AI gets more and more integrated into our classrooms, data privacy becomes a huge issue.
Right.
I mean, we need to make sure that we're using it ethically and protecting students' data. We need guidelines. We need safeguards. We need to make sure it's being used fairly and responsibly. But at the same time, there are some concerns, like how accurate this information really is.
Right.
Is this going to lead to more cheating maybe?
Oh, yeah.
And, if we rely on this too much, what happens to our, brain, our critical thinking skills?
Yeah, to our brains. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, is this going to make us more lazy in the long run?
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
I think it's one of the biggest challenges, right? I mean, how do we make sure students are actually developing the deep understanding of material and not just, getting surface level answers? These students are also worried about it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Critical thinking. Yeah, critical thinking, analyzing information, forming your own conclusions. That's critical, especially in a world where AI is becoming more prevalent.
Yeah, exactly. So for all you listening out there, it seems like the big takeaway here is that AI is changing education.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And that's a wrap for today, listeners. Thank you for tuning in to our first ever podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share. And if you're curious about how students and teachers are using AI in the classroom, check out our vodcast on the same website for a closer look. See you next time.